I just wanna take you high. Throw your hands up in the sky. Let's set this party off right. Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24-karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Look out! Pop, pop, it's showtime. Showtime, showtime, showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Gone time. Oh, they don't know. Gone time. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up. I'm wearing Cuban links. Yeah. Designer mix. Yeah. Inglewood's finest shoes. Whoop, whoop. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blues. Woo, shit. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up.
What's going on, YouTube?
So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up.
So, as promised, my part 2 video about what the Negro American male just simply doesn't seem to be able to grasp about the Negro American female is now available on my main channel. For those of you who watch my videos frequently should know where my main channel is. It's a video that I think all black men need to watch. Also, if you would, go to my main channel and check out this video I released yesterday about this prostitute. It's a very oddball story. This prostitute that was found murdered in Milwaukee, and now she's being turned into a saint and an activist and an angel simply because she was mixed race and simply because, of course, she's a female. That's a very interesting story, and I give my spin on that. So both of those videos are now available over on my main channel. I really shouldn't have to promote them over here anymore. I told you guys I was transitioning over to the other place where I have my main channel. So if you go over there and check that out, that would be great. Now, in this video, obviously a promotional video, I want to give you guys a link in the description box, because this is going to be part of the lesson that I'm trying to teach black men to understand why there is something wrong with this narrative that we basically allow black females to do whatever they want and then still come back to us. Now, the do whatever they want part, we have absolutely no control over. There's nothing we can legally do about it, and I would not suggest anything illegal, okay? But the coming back to us part, that, therein lies the problem, okay? See, when my ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, whatever you want to call her, there was a lot of drama, there was a lot of bullshit. But when she crossed certain lines, there was no coming back to me. I told her to stay her little ratchet thought ass in California. And I changed my phone number. Okay? There's no coming back from certain things. And one of those certain things is when you have a female that willingly, openly deifies the enemy. Now, am I calling all non-black men the enemy? No. But these black females, these ratchet, conniving, vindictive black females, they parade, you know, this talk of swirling around as such, as if the white male is the enemy. because they want to provoke a response out of us. Okay? They have no problem, even at celebrity level, being seen on camera, openly making out with, you know, white men and non-black men. They have no problem with going on videos on YouTube having girlfriend-boyfriend tags. And then you notice a lot of that stuff is starting to die down, at least from where it was 3-4 years ago. And you even notice some of these females starting to tiptoe back across the color line. Main cases in point, and we're going to talk about all three of these females extensively in my video that's on my main channel right now. Kerry Washington, Kelly Rowland, and Simone Biles. Now, particularly in the case of Kelly Rowland, I find this to be so interesting, okay, because I think she's the worst case scenario of all of these females, okay. You know, a moderately attractive, tall, dark-skinned black female that, you know, she didn't get as much success, you know, as Beyonce when Destiny's Child broke up. She admitted to her insecurities being a dark-skinned woman. She goes out in the mid to late 2000s and 2010s, and she's just, you know, grabbing up every random white boy that she can get her hands on. The paparazzi sees her on the beach, walking down Hollywood Boulevard. Every time she's out, you know, she's with a different white boy, right? And she had no qualms with you know, showing off her interracial relationships, right? And people have to understand when they say that, oh, well, you know, she has a right to date who she wants. You know, black men date who they want, yada, yada, yada. But black men are not, you know, just at random trying to rub it in the faces of black women. We're with white women, a lot of us, yeah. But most of all that lovey-dovey stuff and, you know, talk about it goes on behind closed doors. These females are doing this trying to get underneath our skin. Now, they can do what they want. You know, I quite frankly don't care. I told you, I don't deal with them on any level anymore. I don't even provide them services. Okay? However, I find it particularly interesting, and other YouTube content creators have talked about this, how after she gets done having her fun with these white boys, after, you know, she gets ghetto gagged and, you know, she gets a mouthful of, or a pussy full of nut, here she comes back to some black ass simp like Ciara. Here she comes back to a black simp after all of that debauchery, after all of that whoredom, after all that blatant disrespect of her race of man. Okay? Because if she wanted to be with white men, she could have done that, you know, and, you know, just done it. She was going out of her way. She knew the cameras were there. She was going out of her way to let the world know that this is my rejection of the black man. And now you look at not Kerry Washington, you look at Kelly Rowland today, and she's happily married to some bald head, short Negro that's smaller than she is, with a baby. And then Essence Magazine has the blatant gall, the audacity, the same Essence Magazine praising interracial relationships with black women and white men, has the blatant gall and fucking audacity to put this woman on the front cover of their magazine along with her quote-unquote husband and child, as if this is some beautiful, picture-perfect representation of black love. And they make damn sure to turn the husband's face away from the camera, where the only thing that's facing the camera is Kelly Rowland's, big cheesing grin with the baby. In other words, what Essence is doing, you know how when these females talk about their winning, like Serena Williams is winning with the white boy that she's with is making less than her. This is their version of displaying that black women are winning. Never mind the simp, he's not important. The fact is, she was able to do whatever the hell she wanted over there with non-black men, rub it in the faces of black men, and then still come back when she's closer to her 40s than her 30s and get some weak-minded ass black simp to wife her up after having a mouth and a vagina full of nut, of white nut. She's able to get pregnant by this Negro, have him marry her. I know he probably has to be, I don't know this guy, I forget his name, but he has to be some type of, he has to have something going for somebody like Kelly Rowland to marry him. Because, I mean, you look at her, I mean, she's a fine, badass, dark-skinned black female. She ain't just gonna say yes to any whack-ass Negro trying to get after her, trying to get her number, or trying to marry her. We know that. Okay? So this dude obviously had to have had something going for him. Okay? But the fact is, only in black America, only amongst black men, only amongst weak-minded black males can a race group of females get away with this. And if you don't believe me, check out the article in the description box. I want everybody to go to the article in the description box. You don't even have to read the entire article. Just read the first 2 or 3 paragraphs and look at that picture. Okay? The name of the article it's actually part of a book about the D-Day invasions and when World War II was winding down. It's called An Ugly Carnival. Okay? It was written by some pro-feminist simp that was sympathetic to whores, but the fact is, it describes what happens towards the end of World War II, or at least after the D-Day invasions, when France was liberated by the Allies, primarily the Americans. What happened to French women who knowingly, voluntarily slept with and had relations with Nazi soldiers. Okay? A lot of them, their heads were shaved, they were tarred, feathered. Some French prostitutes were even kicked in the streets of Paris. They were beaten to death. Okay? Now, again, for the thinking impaired, I'm not suggesting violence against anybody. I'm simply stating, okay, that the men of other race groups, they do not willingly, openly take back traitorous, treacherous females. Okay? You did not see, because see, women are drawn to power. That's understandable. Okay? But there are women who have standards and respect for themselves and for their culture and for their tribe. But then you have women that will pretty much do anything with anybody. What do they say? Flavor of the week. Okay? There weren't just, they made a big deal about French prostitutes in this article that I want you guys to go check out. But it wasn't just French prostitutes. It was French women who were school teachers, models, actresses. Okay, that's why back in the late 90s or the early 2000s, Christina Aguilera and a couple of other music thoughts, they made this stupid song that went something like "Itchy itchy ya ya mama," and they were talking in French. Y'all know the song I'm talking about, but they were speaking in French, and a lot of that has to do with because French history is ingrained in, unfortunately, whoredom, and part of that is based on the fact that so many French women voluntarily rendered themselves available to Nazi German soldiers and officers during the Second World War. That's why when so many people think of Paris, they think of prostitution, they think of sexual freedom, you know, because of what happened. But the French men, and really the French people, because it wasn't just French men that were tarring and feathering these hoes, it was a lot of French women who were holding them down to be tarred and feathered, okay? You know, it was younger women, it was older women that were partaking in this betrayal, sleeping with the enemy. And when the Germans were driven out, they were made to be held accountable for their actions, okay? Now again, I'm simply pointing out the fact, and it wasn't just in France, during the Spanish Civil War, okay? All the several women of Republican families, they had their heads shaved, and they were tarred and feathered. You know, some of them were ousted from the country for sleeping with the enemy. I told you guys in 2008, the Indian Supreme Court, the Supreme Court in India issued an arrest warrant for actor Richard Gere because he was seen on stage groping and molesting an Indian actress named Shilpa Shetty, who, you know, I mean, Indian women, a lot of Indian women are very beautiful. When they don't age very well, but when they're young, they are some of the most beautiful women in the world. So I can understand, you know, but Richard Gere is he's a known womanizer, okay? He's been known to grope a lot of females, and quite frankly, I don't know how he didn't get caught up in that Me Too scandal. But the fact is, the Indian people didn't appreciate that shit of some white man, some old raggedy ass white man coming into their country and grabbing up in public. Now it'd be different if he wanted to do that behind closed doors and she agreed to it, nobody knew about it. But for him to come on somebody else's foreign soil, okay, somebody else's sovereign country, and grope and grab up they women in public, they had a problem with that, and they tried to arrest his ass and told him, don't you come your white ass back here. If you do, we're gonna put you in handcuffs and we're gonna throw you in a fucking jail cell in Dubai Alley some fucking where. Okay? Other men don't play that shit. We already know what'll happen in the Middle East. We ain't even gotta go there. I mean, we ain't even gotta go there. But the fact is, it's like David Carroll said, once you go blank, they don't want you back. Okay? The fact is, these women are not allowed to come back after their treachery, after, you know, sleeping with the enemy, or after showing signs of whoredom. They're not allowed to do that in other countries the way they are here, especially with the black American female. Okay? Now, if they want to go out there and do that, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. They had that, they were just talking about this porn star, this popular porn star, Mia Khalifa. She's a Lebanese-born actress or whatever. She said she stopped doing porn because ISIS threatened to kill her. Right? So that's my point is, I'm not suggesting that black men take up these attitudes and these ideas. What I am suggesting is that black men take into consideration that we're the only ones that are willing to take back with open arms these females who openly taunt us with their debauchery and with their whoredom, okay, and with their worshiping and deifying of other cultures and tribes of men, primarily that being white men, okay. Perfect example, when Crystalline Kerasin got made out to look like a clown ass fool by that dude, what was his name, Veganator, right? Who did she cry to? She didn't cry to white men to come and save her. She didn't cry to her alleged husband to come and save her. She called herself calling out black men for not coming to her rescue. And why do black women like her feel like they can actually be audacious enough to do that? They feel like that because we have not put our foot down and we have not drawn lines by saying, hey, once you go a certain route, and not only go a certain route, but openly disrespect us intentionally, go on that route. Don't come your black ass back over here. Don't come over here. There ain't nothing for you on this side. Stay over there. Okay? You made that bed, literally. Now lay in it. Because we as black men, we're so used to accepting small peas and sloppy seconds. That's why you see, you know, an overabundance of black men with largely unattractive and overweight white women, right? Because, I mean, let's face it, black men will take and accept pretty much anything, okay? The knife cuts both ways. So all I'm saying is, black men need to start setting standards. We need to start having respect for ourselves and the women of our race group, okay? We know that a large amount of them don't respect us. Okay, so as a result of that, we need to make sure that we set certain boundaries, that when certain lines are crossed, we don't deal with them at all. Okay, and I mean at all. I already told you guys, I don't deal with them and I don't even do business with them. I don't make money with them at all. I avoid them like the plague. Because as far as I'm concerned, a lot of them are. Anyway, thanks for listening. Go check out my video on my main channel. Talk to you later, guys.